And now we come to what we actually work with. What we get, once we said we would create the third teacher, because the first teacher is the teacher. The second teacher is the other students. I mean, you learn as much by teaching each other as a student. And then the third teacher, recently, was the physical environment, was the architecture helping you to enhance your learning, collaborate in different ways, creating an awareness, a sensory awareness about how you would learn. Now, today we talk about the fourth teacher, because the fourth teacher is a digital world surrounding us, because our young people don't experience the world when they are accessing a digital platform as a separation from the physical world as they're part of. So today we say a school exists out of four teachers: the teacher, your own, the other students, the physical framework, and the digital platform you access. And now the question is, how can we best use these four together in a hybrid model that actually creates a continuous, innovative learning experience? We started to work for a long time ago already with some principles which we have developed over the years. And these metaphors, I'm going to explain them to you, actually cover different learning situations. At the same time, they also cover different physical framework that allow for these learning situations, and they cover different ways of communication, how we collaborate and communicate with each other. In a way, they are a sort of algorithm, because you can start combining these and this way kind of compose your learning sequence, or you can use them to compose or schedule or plan your building and your physical framework or your program for the day. Altogether, they actually allow for students to learn how to learn. Now, the first one we call the cave. Cave is actually covering all the situations where you have to learn how to focus and how to concentrate. You have different types of concentration for different types of activities, and also different bodily situations for enhancing your focus. This can be that you need to be moving, or you need to be in a separate small space with a lot of light, little light, etc. The second one we call the campfire. Now, campfire situations are situations of collaboration, teamwork, true teamwork. Now, this is about learning how to take responsibility for your team, for your group. And this is also about finding the best physical framework for the team and collaborative activity you have to do to enhance the collaboration with the other members of your team. Now, as you can see, here are some different photos. For example, one of them is on the University of Copenhagen, which are flexible tables. And here the students, these girls, they have actually just gathered the tables and put them somewhere. They created their own environment. It's also part of creating this perfect kind of team setting, is that you can feel a little bit separated from the rest. Now, the third one we call the watering hole. Watering holes are about, kind of what we call informal knowledge exchange. How can I inspire others and get as much inspiration from others as possible? How can I kind of by coincidence hear something that will help me and will inspire me? So these are typically meeting spots in the cross points in between other people. This can also be exhibitions and so on and so forth. You also know that when you put yourself in a watering hole position, that yes, you are very likely to be disturbed. So if you don't like this for your activity, you will have to go somewhere else. Now, the fourth one we call the mountaintop. Mountaintop situations are unidirectional communications and are instruction moments. This is typically that, as the symbol shows you, you are receiving information. Sometimes you need to have a brief. It's just not good when this is the only activity. A short brief, maybe maximum of 20 minutes, is usually your span of concentration. Now, this kind of situations can be physical, but again, this can also be digital. It can be a short TED talk. Just as well, you can also collaborate in campfire situations in a digital way, or you can actually be very concentrated in a digital activity. So all these things I'm telling you, they are both physically and digital. Now, the fifth one we call hands-on. Hands-on is often practiced in combination with a cave, in combination with a collaboration situation, a campfire, etc. Hands-on is actually learning not only with your brain, but also with your mind. Because the truth is that our mindset and our bodies are not separated, they're actually connected. And to get a deep and profound learning of something, you actually need to practice it, you need to touch it. So we are trying to provide for a lot of different ways in our school environments that you can enhance in hands-on practicalities, so you can actually make a deep learning situation. And then the sixth one we call movement. And movement is actually literally what it says. It means about moving your body shortly to actually higher your pulse and get the blood running through your body shortly to kind of energize your brain. Because the fact is when we are very immobile for a very long time, you know, often our concentration goes down. And right now, you also have to understand that our schools and the architecture of schools is actually an architecture of control, an architecture that tries to control the movement of the people. And a lot of people actually have a higher need for movement. So what we're trying to do with these different situations and our different, you know, principles is to create a physical setting that allows you to try out and to figure out how do you learn best. Also meaning that if you need to move in order to enhance your concentration, you can just step outside, run down a couple of times down the corridor, or just step outside, run down for a moment, and then come back, and you learn to act and react on your own bodily experience, on your own learning process.